This is a special podcast presentation from 700WLW.com. This is Casey Boland On Demand.
Casey Boland joining me now. Casey from Hangel Capital Management. And Casey, going to talk here about the topic of framing, which has to do with, I guess, how a proposal is presented to me and the impact it might have on the decision I would make. Give me an example.
Well, let's say you were given 50-50 odds of either winning $8 or $32. Not a bad deal, but let's also assume you were given a 50-50 chance of losing either $8 or $32. Now, you would think that either way you would feel pretty good about either option in the first set of odds and pretty bad about losing money in the second set of odds.
Right.
Yet when the study was actually performed, that's not what happened at all.
What happened was, well, I would think I'd like the option of winning 32 and like the option of losing 8.
That's actually what happens is the subjects actually felt slightly positive when they lost 8 because they avoided losing 32, but when they won 8, they reported feeling of dissatisfaction because they didn't win the 32. They felt good about losing 8 because the gamble was framed in terms of losses. And they felt bad about winning $8 because the gamble was framed in terms of gains. And this is what behavioral economists call framing. And framing refers to the fact that we tend to draw different conclusions from information depending on how it's presented to us.
Right. Then another one, if a doctor says to me before my surgery, you have a 90% chance of survival, that sounds pretty good. If he says you have a 10% chance of dying, that sounds pretty bad.
That's right. So if the doctor frames it in a positive way with the 90%, they find that more people are likely to take the surgery. But if you frame it as the 10% chance of mortality, people don't choose the surgery. So it happens with the market all the time, too. So here are two market scenarios to consider where we are now. The market shoots up 20% over the next year before falling 30%. Or the market goes nowhere for the next year and then falls 16%. Now, which situation is worse for investors? Well, both scenarios, you end up with the same exact result. The S&P will be at the same spot, but the first option would be much more painful for investors because it would be framed in terms of gains that weren't locked in before a huge drop as opposed to a smaller correction in the second scenario. So you have to understand how framing affects your finances at different points in time.